Well, Meghan Markle has managed to make another woman's baby shower all about herself. As Meghan's mole posted, only Meghan would make another woman's baby shower about her. Angela Levin, I thought of you. Great to see you, by the way. And Angela, I thought of you when I saw this picture of Meghan because it's that deranged laugh that you talk about, that demonic, oh my goodness, I'm the happiest person in the world, when deep down, actually, everything is falling apart. What did you make of this? And of course, by the way, I should point out that this is, some sort of baby shower for her BFF, who, of course, is the chief membership officer of Soho House. So we know why she's friends with this woman.
Yes, well, she might need it now if everything goes even further wrong between her and Harry. Well, I think there was obviously nothing else to do. And she thought, she's got to be shown as being happy and looking pretty. And so, and the laugh has got to be there. So she went along. It's just that she didn't want to not be seen. But what it did was, for me, was to think, now, why are you there and not out sort of telling everybody about the...
The new year dawned with a familiar face returning to the digital spotlight. Meghan Markle, after a long hiatus, graced Instagram once more. Her first post, a video of herself clad in white running along a sun-kissed beach. She etched 2025 into the sand, a symbolic gesture hinting at fresh starts and new beginnings. This digital re-emergence was quickly followed by another post, the announcement of her latest venture, a Netflix series titled With Love. The trailer showcased Markle in her Montecito kitchen, her culinary skills on full display. This carefully curated return sparked a flurry of speculation and inevitably drew the attention of one of her most vocal critics. Markle's return to Instagram, particularly in such a calculated manner, raises questions about her future ambitions. Is this a genuine attempt to reconnect with the public, or a strategic maneuver to further her brand? The choice of white, often associated with purity and new beginnings, adds another layer of intrigue. Is this a signal of a change in direction, a shedding of past controversies? Only time will tell. However, one thing is certain. Meghan Markle knows how to command attention. Her return to Instagram, coupled with the announcement of her new series, has once again thrust her into the limelight. Whether this will translate into success for her latest venture remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the world is watching.
I agree. I think the priorities are warped, Angela.
Well, Harry didn't either. And I mean, it seems to be extremely odd that they would do that. Why do it if you're not going to try and promote it afterwards? But I think Meghan is now desperate to be seen. I think she's acting it out, that she's, very happy, everything's lovely, and oh, this little baby and the baby bump and all that sort of stuff. She's very happy to laugh and show how wonderful that is. But, it's not getting her anywhere at all. In fact, the question mark gets larger and larger, and that what on earth is happening? Are they going to be together over Christmas? Who knows? I mean, that's a key thing too, isn't it?
And will they post any images to try and put, I guess, this speculation at rest for a little bit at least? Because it's very, very bizarre, isn't it? The lengths they're going... Well, I was just going to say, it's very bizarre the lengths they're going to not to be seen together, Angela.
Yes, well, it's in capital letters, isn't it? We are not seen together, but it makes the relationship just hopeless, really, because if you were still together at any level, you would meet for a few days and then go off, come back, go off. Loads of people work out of where they live, far from where they live, but they always come back and then go off again. But this way is as if they pretend it's all hunky-dory and how happy they are. They can't stand the sight of each other. They can't stand hearing their voices. And so they're just keeping far, far, far away. And she's obviously trying to build up another bunch of pals.
Angela Levin, a seasoned royal biographer, wasted no time in voicing her skepticism. Known for her critical stance on the Sussexes, Levin took to Twitter, her words laced with caution. She honed in on Markle's choice of attire, suggesting that the pristine white might be more than just a fashion statement. Could it be, Levin insinuated, a calculated attempt to project an image of innocence and renewal? This thinly veiled barb underscored Levin's long-held reservations about Markle's motives and actions. Levin's warning, however, extended beyond sartorial analysis. She issued a stark reminder of Markle's past, alluding to a pattern of behavior that should give Prince Harry pause. Levin pointedly highlighted instances where Markle had distanced herself from individuals once deemed valuable in her circle. This thinly veiled warning served as a stark reminder of the biographer's belief that Markle is not afraid to sever ties when it suits her. The tweet, sharp and incisive, ignited a firestorm of reactions. Some lauded Levin's forthrightness, seeing it as a much-needed dose of reality. Others decried it as yet another example of the relentless and often unfair scrutiny faced by the Duchess of Sussex. Regardless of where one stands on the spectrum of opinion, Levin's intervention ensured that Markle's return was not going to be a quiet one.
Because, Angela, isn't it fascinating when you think the last time we saw them together at all was in November when they filmed that Remembrance Day video. Now, we don't even know when that video was filmed, but what we do know is we've got eyes and we can see that in that video, they absolutely seemed like they couldn't stand the sight of each other.
I believe that was done quite a while earlier. I think it was September or maybe beginning of October. So, you're right. It was done because we have to do that. And they wanted to wear the poppy to show the royal family that, they're involved too. And Meghan is actually wearing an American one, apparently, and Harry is wearing a British one. So that's, a bit silly either, isn't it? But they were standing there like two sort of, I don't know what, unmovable people who would, wind them up and they would say something.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, Angela. One of the reasons behind the tension, though, seems to be Harry's, and I'm going to use this word again, deranged mission, because, Angela, I am absolutely convinced it is a deranged mission against the British media. He wants to shut down the free press in his home country. Now, that is a shocking thing for a member of the royal family to do. And I know you've been looking into this claim this week that Prince Harry is actually trying to turn the case against the Sun newspaper or NGN newspapers, which publishes the Sun newspaper, into a public inquiry rather than actually a civil legal case, which is what it's meant to be. And I should state again, Angela, as you know, that I have agreed to give evidence in this trial if need be.
Angela Levin is no stranger to the world of royal commentary. Her insights, often delivered with a blend of sharp wit and unwavering conviction, have cemented her position as a prominent voice in the British media. Her criticisms of the Sussexes, particularly of Meghan Markle, are well documented. She has, on numerous occasions, questioned their motives, their choices, and their overall impact on the monarchy. Levin's perspective is rooted in her deep understanding of the institution of the monarchy. Having penned biographies of numerous royal figures, including Prince Harry himself, she possesses a unique insight into the inner workings of the House of Windsor.
Yes. Well, it's very interesting. But what is even more interesting is the next sentence that I will say, and that is that he wants to do this to seek the accountability for others who have already settled claims. Now, why does he want to do that to, tens and tens of people? If they don't feel happy about it, they can do it for themselves. They don't want to look to him to do that. And this accountability is something he's saying all the time, that, people should be doing it and it should be right. But it's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. And actually, if it happened to me and someone came up and said, look, I want to take you on because I want to make sure that the accountability is done, I'll say, get lost. Mind your own business. So it's a very weird thing that he's actually not necessarily doing it for himself. He's doing it for a whole load of people who he doesn't know. Very odd. Now, if he does want to do this, and if he is given the permission to do this, which the judge is not at all keen about, he's got to spend 4 days in the witness box and go through about 30 articles. Now, it's going to be very difficult to fit that in. Why does he want to do it? He wants to make it sound bigger and more important, and that will upset the king and everybody else as well. But that's exactly what he wants. He wants to destroy everything. And actually, particularly with people like us who reads a lot of papers, they want to get rid of them all. He only wants a paper where there is one journalist who will say nice things about the clothes and the weather, but nothing about any, say what they really feel about things, unless they're controlled. Well, this is not Russia, and this is not China. We'll come to that in a minute, but it's certainly neither of those things. And he doesn't deserve to try to do that for us. It's nonsense. And he should have better things to do in so many ways. He should be looking for an interesting career, because he seems to be able to escape most of the things he's doing. He likes the things he's done 3-4 years ago, with the various charities, and doing quite well. But he should try and look forward to do something, that he hasn't done before, and he can help him behave like a normal person. It's ridiculous that he's hanging on like this.
Her criticisms, therefore, are not merely those of a casual observer, but of someone who has dedicated years to studying the intricacies of royal life. Levin's critiques often centre around what she perceives as a disregard for royal protocol and a willingness to court controversy. She's been particularly critical of the couple's decision to step back from their royal duties, viewing it as a dereliction of duty and a betrayal of the Queen. Her concerns, while shared by some, have also drawn accusations of being outdated and out of touch with the realities of a modern monarchy.
The thing is, Angela, is he's not being honest, because trying to suggest that he is doing this for other people is rubbish. This is about vengeance and revenge. And the thing that I find extraordinary is that this is starting to be a big part in the decline of his marriage. I mean, look, we know there are lots of other issues there, but remember, his wife has said, I don't want you doing this. It is eating you up inside. Yet he goes on.
She might, no, I mean, don't listen to that. I mean, she might just have said that because she wants to look like Mrs. Goody, but I wouldn't listen to that. She often says things like, he said before, that everybody hated her, and the royals didn't let her go out. She couldn't fly off anywhere. And then it turned out she went to 14 different countries, that she wasn't stopped. They kept her, she said, they got her passport. I mean, I can give you loads of lies that she said, and this could be another one. She wanted to look good. Harry does not look good doing this. So Meghan, who likes to keep away most of the time, can just say something that she thinks that she looks, positive and sensible all about. But off screen, she could say, why don't you get on with it? You should be doing it. I don't believe what she's saying ever.
Yeah, well, I guess it was very similar to the release of Spare, wasn't it? She could have really tried to influence it behind the scenes, but instead what she did when it came out and it was a bit of a disaster, that was when she publicly distanced herself. But I would say, Angela, having been through, unfortunately, this type of legal action myself, not through choice, it is miserable. It does impact your relationships because it becomes so overwhelming and so stressful going through something like this. And I find it bizarre that he is choosing to continue to dive in to these battles. Now, I know on stage with Aaron Ross Sorkin in New York last week, he tried to say, oh, no, these have chosen me. I haven't chosen these, but that is rubbish. He has absolutely chosen these. And I think you also make a good point. Mate, focus on making some money. Focus on doing your job, because actually none of this stuff is actually going to give you the sustainable career that you want. And your finances are running out because you insist on catching private jets. You're going to lose all of your big contracts. Spotify's already gone. Netflix is either going to go or see a dramatic reduction in terms of the amount that you're paid. And you've received your last multi-million-pound inheritance from your great-grandmother, the Queen Mother. There is no more money coming in.
Yeah, somebody said to me, and I don't know if this is true, that he had a verbal fight with Meghan and said, why don't you go out and earn some money? Do something properly to earn some money instead of just spending all your money on clothes. I don't know if it's true, but I think that it just shows that you could be right over the difficulty of actually living so elaborately when the money's running out quite fast.
Yeah, but the thing is, Angela, with all the will in the world, she isn't going to be able to make the money required for the lifestyle that they believe they deserve to live, because they want a private jet lifestyle. Now, remember, the only way that their mates or former mates like Oprah Winfrey, George Clooney, Ellen DeGeneres actually were ever able to afford a private jet lifestyle was by working bloody hard, Angela, excuse my French, but very, very hard for a very long time, 5 days a week, long hours. Now, Harry and Meghan believed that they were just going to continue on this gravy train without putting in any work. And you're completely right to point out that when it comes to Polo, they didn't do any work. They barely appeared in the series themselves. They haven't given one interview to promote it. And guess what? It's flopped. And I know we'll come to that later. But it's the bigger point, which is that this is all going to come to a head because Harry has been used to working very little in his life for a lot of privilege, and that's not how things work in the private sector.
Angela Levin's latest pronouncements on Meghan Markle's return to the public eye should be viewed within the broader context of her long-standing critique of the Sussexes. Levin's perspective is informed by her intimate knowledge of the monarchy, her years of experience as a royal biographer, and her personal interactions with key figures within the royal family. Her skepticism towards Markle's motives is palpable. She sees a pattern of behavior that suggests a calculated approach to self-promotion and a willingness to discard individuals once they have served their purpose. This view, while undoubtedly harsh, is rooted in Levin's interpretation of Markle's past actions.
No, I think after Christmas something will happen because, if they're going to be together, they'll get back. And if they really annoy each other hugely, then it's not going to work at all. That he'll go off, she'll go off. And so that will be the end of it. If it does work, suddenly they feel, well, they do miss each other and they will try and do something. I think it's unlikely. But anyway, then that will be the end of it. But and we'll say, well, they're going to try and make a different type of relationship for each other. But I don't think it can go on like this. And it's very odd that they are, making it month after month. It doesn't make any sense to do that. Get on with it.
Yeah.
I think maybe even Meghan might be looking around for another guy. And that's why she's even going
Well, that's what I was going to say, Angela. The thing is, for Meghan Markle, success is an aphrodisiac. And the problem is they're not having success as a couple and they're both struggling with it in their different ways.
Yes. And she might need a different sort of man who's even much more, got much more money and go for that. Which would make her very happy. So she's going out all the time because you never know who's going to be there.
and her understanding of the dynamics within the royal family. Whether one agrees with Levin's assessment or not, her voice remains a significant one in the ongoing narrative surrounding the Sussexes. Her criticisms, often delivered with a blend of wit and unwavering conviction, resonate with a segment of the British public who share her concerns about the direction the monarchy is taking. Only time will tell if Levin's predictions about Markle's future actions will come to pass. However, one thing is certain: Levin will be watching, pen at the ready, to chronicle every twist and turn in this ongoing saga.